I am a professor of finance at INSEC Business School. I was also formerly an assistant professor at the Leuven School of Management. My area of expertise are corporate finance, restructuring corporations, portfolio management, asset allocation, and global risk management. I obtained my PhD in business finance from Leuven School of Management. The thesis empirically investigates European and United States IPOs to provide a comparative case on international evidence on short and long-run performance of IPOs. The IPOs underpricing is a worldwide phenomenon in the stock markets. It's generally explained by asymmetric information. The purpose of my thesis was to complement this traditional explanation with a theory where investors also worry about the aftermarket illiquidity that may result from asymmetric information after the IPO. My work also examines the relationship between initial return and long-term performance in the IPO market. I use all long-term performance measures, and we observe the existence of long-term abnormal returns for our two samples, while the fads of investors, overreactions, and divergence of opinion hypothesis do not apply in explaining the aftermarket performance of our IPO samples. I found evidence that less liquid the aftermarket is expected to be and less predictable its liquidity, the large will be the IPO underpricing. My research frameworks is part of the huge theoretical research named corporate governance and has resulted in more than 13 peer-reviewed scientific articles. The latest paper entitled Corporate Governance Characteristics in Initial Public Corporation. The main focus of the paper is to investigate board of director size and establish the factors that play a role in determining their size in IPOs firms. Most previous studies treats board size as an exogenous variable rather than an endogenous variable. Previous research investigates a wide range of board characteristics and their relation to firm outcomes. Such investigations were extended to IPO firms to assist theorists and practitioners. The literature identified 3 reasons for the importance of conducting research on the determinants of the board of directors. Board composition variables like insiders, outsiders, and size impact firm outcomes. Therefore, the factors affecting these variables need to be understood. The second one, there are significant variables in board types and size even within the same industry, and the reasons behind these variations need to be explained. At the end, board composition variables like insiders, outsiders, and size affect the director's role in monitoring managing, so it is important to identify what factors affect these variables. The term corporate governance refers to the structures, rules, and process through which companies pursue their objectives. In other words, corporate governance is the system by which firms are directed and controlled. It encompasses a variety of issues, ranging from shareholder rights to company international decision-making process and control systems. The framework of rules and practices by which board of directors ensure accountability, fairness, and transparency in company's relationship with its all stakeholders. The corporate governance framework consists of explicit and implicit contracts between the company and the stakeholders of distribution of responsibility, rights, and rewards. Second one, procedures for reconciling the sometimes conflicting interests of stakeholders in concordance with their duties, privilege, and rules. Procedures for proper supervision, control, and information flows to serve as a system of checks and balances. Corporate governance is relevant to companies of any size and any market. In fact, good corporate governance has a number of widespread benefits. Two of the most significant benefits of good corporate governance are that its simultaneous performance improvement and facilitates access to capital. Performance improvement, corporate governance best practice is ultimately directed at ensuring that your business activities and strategy planning are conducted effectively and that risks is managed properly. Access to capital, having a good governance framework can help with financing as it can increase the company transparency and accountability to investor and credit institution, which can enhance its financing compatibility. In other words, good governance puts potential investor in a better position to understand how things work within your company and can provide assurance that investors' interests will be protected. For example, instituting corporate governance best practices can reduce the risk associated with abuse of power by controlling shareholders or management to seek inappropriate gains. The cornerstone of corporate governance is to clearly define rules and outline the rights and responsibilities of managers, board members, and owners. Among other things, this creates a transparency decision-making process that facilitates accountability, resulting in increasing efficiency and ultimately better performance. It also permits streamlining the operation and therefore better use of time and resources. Clearly defined rules and responsibility also minimizing friction between the various parties involved in the business, such as those between owners and managers, and or between board members and management. Formalizing process, good corporate governance assists in formalizing strategic planning, budgeting, and other key process. It focuses the business and its key people who have to deliver certain results within a prescribed timetable. It also guides manager to employ expectation. For example, an advisory board or a board of directors, which is an integrated component of good governance, improves the strategic planning process by scrutinizing the company's strategy. This process brings additional perspective and ideas in the table. Establishing a consistent approach to risk management, corporate governance practices aid in the adequate management of risk and in a indispensable element for achieving strategic objectives, increasing transparency and accountability. First, the result indicates that the board of director firms tend to become more independent after the IPO. Outside director, for example, increased from 38.9% to 44.4%. Affiliated director decreased from 31 to 26. This indicates that IPO are affected by monitoring from financial markets, individual investors, and institutional investors shortly after going public. The ownership structure of the IPO gets diffused shortly after going public in line with various empirical studies. Poisson regression were performed to examine the determinants of board size before and after IPO. The study found strong evidence that the following variables tend to affect the size of the board of directors. Finally, this study examines the endogeneity issue of the board size using a set of exogenous variables. The study found evidence that the board size is endogenously determined with venture capital ownership, officers and director ownership, and CEO duality. The board size has a positive, significant, and endogenous relation with venture capital ownership, and a negative significant and endogenous relation with officer and director ownership and the CEO duality.